Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a preview of Flip Voyage, coming to crowdfunding soon, I think in the beginning of next week. And as always, we take no money from publishers, we just want to help you make an informed decision and know about a game. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our weekly podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So this new crowdfunding campaign has both Flip Voyage, which is an entirely new game based partially on the system from Fliptown, and then also Fliptown New Frontier, which is kind of a standalone, but can also be combined with the original Fliptown for a giant game. I was a bit more interested in filming Flip Voyage since it's kind of an all-new thing. I really like what I'm playing here. And this can be played with up to 4 players competitively, with each of them having their own board, but like in Fliptown, you're going to be flipping cards from a poker deck and using them to determine your actions simultaneously. But you can also play solo in one of 2 modes. The basic mode is just trying to beat your own score before you run out of time. You'll see how that works because you kind of have these 2 competing tracks, and when they meet, the game ends. In the second mode that I'm going to be showing you, which is a bit more involved, you have this deck of Farragut's Pursuit cards. This is, by the way, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea themed with the Nautilus, Nemo, that kind of stuff. And Farragut's going to be earning stars, earning victory points based on actions you take. And he can either trigger an immediate game end if he earns too many points, or when the game does end normally, you have to beat his score to win. Again, a bit more involved, but I think also a bit more interesting than just the basic beat your own score mode. And yeah, what's going to be happening in this game is we're going to flip 3 cards each turn. This is the same as in Fliptown, if you've seen that one before. But in here, there's no poker hand concept or anything. You're just using the cards in 3 different ways. So first, one of the cards is going to be used as your movement card for the round. You will move a number of spaces equal to the value of the card. You're going to start on this little grid map, and you'll draw a line moving around. If you land and your movement on certain spaces, you'll get free actions in the main action spaces of the board, keyed to the 4 suits in the game. If you cross over stars, you'll get victory points. If you cross over little explosions, you'll get damage to your ship, which is negative victory points at the end of the game. And whenever you cross one of these borders, you get to pick one of the 2 resources to either side of the border you cross if you haven't used it yet. And an ace, by the way, is a 1. It is the lowest value in the game. And a jack, queen, and king all count as a 10 for this. Although instead, if you have a treasure to discard, which is kind of like a wild resource, you can spend one of them to count a jack, queen, or king as any value when you're moving. Then for your main action of the turn, you're going to use one of the 2 remaining cards as the suit, so here hearts or spades, and the other remaining card as the value that'll actually send you to what you're doing in that space. And all of these tracks have somewhat similar mechanics with just some wrinkles. So pretty much all of them will have you crossing off spaces to get the immediate bonus inside of there. Like here, if I cross this off, I get a star. If I cross this off, I get the thing above it, although that could also be an explosion. Here I can get treasures, that wild resource, or again, a bunch of explosions. And here you get mainly crew and again, damage. But again, each of them has their own wrinkle to how play goes. With science, you need to start at the bottom of any beaker, so you can freely switch between beakers. But I need to do the 9 space before I can do the 10, before I can do the 3. And for all of these, whenever you have filled in both sides of something, like here, this little spade, if you can see that. If I get both the knowledge below and the notoriety star above, then I also get to resolve an immediate free spade action, picking any value I would like for the action. And that's how these all work. Like if I get both sides of the crates in warfare, or if I get both sides in adventure, or if I get both things vertically connected in liberation. And then they all have some kind of completion victory point thing as well. So for science, if I completely fill a beaker, I get the number of notoriety stars above it. For warfare, if I completely sink one of these ships, because each of these is linked to one of the ships, I get the number of stars indicated. For adventure, if I fill in every row, I get the number of stars indicated. And for liberation, whenever I fill in any row, I get the next value of stars. So it'll be 3 at first, but then getting to be higher as we go. And that kind of covers everything except adventure is slightly more complicated. Whenever you use a card for that, you write the card's value in the box you're gaining. And you have to start in the top row, and you can't do a box in a lower row until you have both of the boxes that kind of diagonally connect to it above it filled. And the value of the new card you're using has to be lower than both of the cards above. So you ideally want like jacks, kings, and queens up here, and then, maybe you're like 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s down here, and then these would really need to be pretty low values like ace, 2, 3, 4. But just like the other things, once you fill an entire row, you'll get the indicated number of stars. So that's how the actions work, and then at the end of your turn, you can choose to either repair your ship if you have 2 crew to discard or to spend. Then you can erase 1 damage you've suffered from the different places. Damage is again going to be -1 victory point at the end of the game. Or you can buy an upgrade. You have 1 for each value, ace through king down here. The cost to buy 1 is pretty small, but it's going to be a number of salvage, plus always 1 or more crew. And the value you upgrade has to be 1 of the values of the 3 cards. Doesn't matter how you use them. So here it could be a 3, a 4, or a king. Although I'll note when you're doing your movement, when you're doing your actions, when you're doing your upgrade, you can spend knowledge on a 1-for-1 basis to change the value of the card you're using by 1 for each knowledge spent. So like if I really wanted to build the 5 upgrade and I had the 4, I could pick the 4 and then spend 1 knowledge to get the 5 instead. Or when you're taking your main action for the turn, you can spend 2 knowledge to change the suit to whatever you want. And whenever you build an upgrade, it gives you a permanent thing you can do, like a bonus for one of the specific suits, or a new conversion you can do, because you can always convert treasure into any of the other resources. That's why it's a wild. But like if I have the library, I can convert freely salvage into knowledge. And again, that's an either or choice. Each round you can either repair 1 damage if you have the crew, or build 1 upgrade if you have the salvage and crew. Just a few more things to talk about before we jump in. How does the game actually end? So every time you move on this track, you're going to count that number of leagues. Doesn't look like you can get 20,000, but you count the number of movement spaces you have, and you X off that many. So let's say I had moved, 5. I would count to 5 and then X that out. And then let's say the next round I moved 6. I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and X the next one out. And then whenever you earn stars of notoriety, you start with 1, you circle those. And eventually, you're going to reach and cross each other, or just meet each other with the crossing out for the leagues traveled and the stars earned. And when any player does that in competitive, or of course when you do it yourself in solo, that triggers the end of the game. You finish out that round, and you see how many victory points you earned. So generally you're trying to be as efficient as possible, not move too far while still earning stuff from this map and getting the best actions you can. There's also at the beginning of every game, competitive or solo, 3 random Nemo's Challenges cards drawn, which will give the first player to achieve them 5 stars, and then you can still achieve them for 2 stars. So they give you a little bit of a different direction for each game. Here I need to have at least 1 star in each of the 4 spots. Once I have that, I can earn the 5 stars. Here I need to have at least 3 rows scored in Liberation, so at least 3 of these rows completed. And here I need to cross out either bubble on the lowest level that has damage in it. So I could go like these 3, these 2, that 1, for example. These are not easy ones to achieve. And how it works in the solo with Farragut is the 2 jokers are still in the deck. You usually remove them for competitive play. And whenever a joker is revealed, it's discarded. You redraw because you can't use jokers for this whole thing. But then whichever card still has a 5 is going to get flipped, the leftmost one, and Farragut will earn 5 victory points immediately. So you want to try to shut him out of as many of those as you can. And finally, how does Farragut work? And then we're ready to go. At the beginning of each round, you're going to flip 2 cards from his little Farragut Pursuit deck. And you can also start with any number of cards from 0 to 4 of these. I'm going to start with 0 because I just want to beat him. But that's your main difficulty lever. And these will now give you a danger, something you want to avoid doing. In this case, if I take a diamond action or a club action, then at the end of the round, he'll score 5 victory points. And also at the end of the round, the cards that were scored will be discarded. So they're kind of like a ticking time bomb just sitting around. Eventually I'll have to do them, but if I can avoid them, it's good. And then for every card you avoided that you didn't trigger in your turn, you earn 1 star. So you want to try to avoid them as long as possible, but they're going to keep on building up. And I guess I need to shuffle these better. And you'll just have more and more things that are dangerous for you to do until you do some of them and the cards get removed. All right, so sorry for the longer teach, but I kind of wanted to go through everything before I actually started playing. Let's see how we do. But I forgot to say, at the beginning of the game, you get to pick a character. You draw 2 cards and keep 1. They give you a certain amount of starting resources. They tell you where your ship is going to start before you start moving around. And then they give you a once per game ability to use. I'm really liking this guy. Conceal? I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to start with 2 knowledge, 1 salvage, 2 crew, 2 treasure. I'll be over here on the right. And I've got the once per game ability Anchor. I can choose a movement card, but I do not move or track leagues, which remember for efficiency is a pretty good thing. And then I gain 3 crew. And if I'm on a star or bonus action space, gain that star or bonus action again. This is an amazing ability. Honestly, I like this a lot better than the last couple games I played. So that'll just be a once per game thing, but I'll go ahead and circle my starting resources. And he indicated this place, so I circle this as my first location. And I already start with the 1 star. That's where the 1 star comes from because I've been there. And one more very important thing for the solo setup when you're playing with Farragut, you flip a card and I think you shuffle it back in. And that determines what Farragut's preferred suit is, diamonds in this case. And that means at the end of the game, for every one of, in this case, the 12 squares that are here, for each one that I have not filled in, Farragut's going to get free victory points. Now, it's only 1 point each, so it's not as bad as his 5 for everything else. But still, I want to try to focus on diamonds. And hey, the final Nemo's challenge, the one I have the most time to complete, is also diamond focus, so even more reason to do it. Well, let's jump in. Our first 2 Farragut pursuits are if I take a damage and if I get any knowledge. So I just got to avoid things that'll give me those. And I've got a 10 and a 2 and a 4. Now, I know I want to go for diamonds and clubs, but that is not a possibility unless I spend my only 2 knowledge, which seems like a bad idea. But also, I can just focus on anything for the first Nemo's challenge. Hearts is my most common suit, and if I do the science track, 2 of the spots will get me stars, 2 of them will get me knowledge. So I could do a heart and just avoid the knowledge. If I do a spade instead, I could sink a 2, or actually sinking a 10 is fantastic. Because look at this, I would immediately complete a ship, which would get me stars, so I'm already 1/4 of the way done with Nemo's challenge, and I get salvage, which is totally safe. So I think that's going to be my main action. I'm going to use the 4 of spades and the 10 of hearts, 10 value, 4 for its suit. So there we go, which means I guess I'm moving to, which, is, wow, fabulous. I can just go straight to a club. So what you do is you actually draw out the line, and any stars or damage you cross over, you can not gain again. And you also can't gain any bonus actions you've moved over, although to gain a bonus action in the first place, you have to land directly on it. That's why it's got the anchor here. So this was great. And I cross out my previous destination, so I can always see where I'm starting my next movement from. But that was fabulous. I get to do an immediate club action of my choice. And clearly I'm going to pick one. What did I have to do? Score 3 rows. All right, so I've got 10, 2, and 4. So those values are slightly less likely to come up because I'm going to discard all those and then draw again. So let's start with the 10 here, because then if I get a jack, I've got a nice safe row. So I'm going to cross that out and give myself another crew, and that's it for now. If I get the 9 and take a damage, I'll get a free heart action. If I get the jack and get a crew, I'll get my first 3 stars. So that was my movement. Now I'm doing 4 for its spade and 10 for its value. So I have a 10 of spades, which is warfare. I have sunk this little tiny ship. I get 1 salvage from it. And I get 2 stars immediately. Boop. Which again has given me at least 1 star from warfare. So now I just got to do science, adventure, and liberation. I'm halfway to liberation to complete the first Nemo's challenge. Not bad. Okay, now I can spend 2 crew to repair damage, but I don't have any yet. Or I can do an upgrade. Let's see our options without spending any knowledge. So 2 gives me dredging. It would cost me both my salvage and 1 crew, but I could change crew to salvage at any time. But it's not actually getting me anything extra. Medical Bay is similar to salvage 1 crew. It will let me change knowledge into crew at any time. And then 10 is the Armory. 1 salvage, 1 crew. It would let me, whenever I do the liberation action, decrease or increase the value of my card by 1 for free. So this would be a little bit easier to get in there, which would help me with this Nemo's challenge. Now, I know there's an action that helps with diamonds. Where's that? Here it is. Super Propeller. It's 2 away at 8, so I'd have to use both my knowledge to get that. But, oh gosh, and it costs 3 salvage with that, which I don't have. But then any time that I would take damage from an adventure, I additionally gain a treasure. So these spaces become damage and treasure, and those spaces are just treasure, which is pretty amazing. But yeah, for now, that would be pretty expensive. I'm actually going to go for the Armory. So I cross out the 10 to show I have it. I get another star immediately, and I have to erase 1 salvage and 1 crew. Not too expensive, so I should be able to do another upgrade later. Okay, and at the end of the round, I check. Did I gain any damage? No. Did I gain any knowledge? No. So instead of him gaining any victory points, I get 2. By the way, whenever he gains victory points from these challenges or from these, it's always in division multiples of 5. So you just underline the next 5 on the track. So if he'd gotten 10, I would just underline the 10. That's how you quickly keep track of his stars and his victory points without kind of getting in the way of tracking your own. But there you go. You've seen 1 full round. We get 2 new Farragut's pursuits. So now he'll punish me for doing a diamond action, which is annoying because that's the one I want to do. And here, oh gosh, he'll punish me for ending in any of these 4 central areas, which actually, if I just had a single space up, that shouldn't be too bad. All right, and let's see my spaces. Got 6 of hearts, 8 of spades, ace of hearts. Could use the ace for movement and then maybe spend 1 knowledge to change it into a 2 to get... Oh, I'm sorry. Speaking of movement, I never marked my initial 2 leagues. But yeah, so I could use the ace, use a knowledge, change it to a 2 to get to the diamond. That seems certainly worthwhile. Although then I'd be doing a diamond action and giving him 5 victory points. But I want to be doing diamond actions for his thing and for that, so I'm going to have to do it at some point. But if I did that, I could do a 6 of spades or an 8 of hearts. 8 of hearts I couldn't do. I could change it to a 9 of hearts, but then I'm getting knowledge for that. 6 of spades. Oh, it would let me sink another ship safely for salvage. Yeah, I guess that's better because I don't want to do anything negative. All right, so we'll just suck it up and do the diamond one. So I'm going to use the ace. I am going to erase a knowledge to change it into a 2. So I cross over to here and get that. And whenever I cross a border, I can get, in this case, a crew or a knowledge. I don't want to get a knowledge, so I'll go ahead and get the crew. Again, that's because I crossed the border. I've got 2 leagues spent again, so I'm definitely moving slowly on that. I'm doing a diamond. I want to eventually get down there, but I don't have the upgrade yet, so I want to do like a here or a here. Let's just do the middle one, I guess. And since it's a free diamond, I can make it any value, so king is the best because you want your higher ones to be as high as possible. And yeah, then go down from there. Get another treasure for filling that. All right, so that was that. And then, yes, I am going to do a 6 of spades. Start working on the big boy ship. Gets me another salvage. That's all it gets, okay? No, sorry, I forgot to cross that. Which one was my old area? And I guess that's it. So what do I want to build now? Oh, good. We got the 8 to make adventure a little bit better since that's the main action I want to be doing. So I'm going to spend... Oh, I don't have 3. Oh, I can use treasure. I will use 1 treasure. Treasure is worth victory points at the end, so you don't want to spend it if you can help it. But I'll use 1 treasure and convert it to a salvage, 2 more salvage, and 1 crew to get the super propeller for another star, which will, again, whenever I do a explosion on adventure, also give me a treasure. Okay, and then Farragut is discarding this because I did do a diamond. Even free actions count. And you do reshuffle his whole deck and get those things back in once you've gone through all of them. But I get 3 free points for avoiding everything else, so staying ahead of him, that's good. And that'll finish up the round. And what have we got? Can't get salvage, can't get treasure. Great, thanks. Well, I was going to fast track diamonds this turn, and I think it's still the thing to do, even though it is going to get me the treasure one that I'm supposed to be avoiding. Yeah, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I'm moving 4, but I'm going to actually use my ability once per game. Gains me 3 crew, and if I'm on a star or bonus action space, I gain that star or bonus action, so I'm going to get another diamond, and then this is gone forever. So let's go ahead and get a king right here locked in and get me another treasure. And then for my main action, I'll do a queen with diamonds going on. And since we can, let's go ahead and go down here with that. Well, actually, that can be like almost anything, can it? So let's do this instead. I'm avoiding the damage just for like 1 more turn. Yeah, so queen of diamonds. That just gets me another treasure. So we're almost done filling the first row. And we can get a free heart and a free club action soon. Although we can, start working down. But, I mean, this is the last one that they'll flip over when a joker comes out, so I've got a while to get to the bottom there. All right, and I don't have any salvage, so if I want to build an upgrade, I'll need to spend some treasure. I got a ton of crew, though. What are my options? Jack, Queen, 4. So 4 is the same one, Medical Bay. Jack is Reinforced Hull, which costs a ton of crew, but it lets me repair damage with crew on a 1-for-1 basis instead of 2-for-1, which is pretty great. Oh, and the workshop is amazing too, although it would use all my treasure. This one makes me pay -1 salvage for every upgrade for the rest of the game. Oh, I gotta go for that. All right, so I will use 3 treasure as salvage. That part's not ideal, and a single crew member. And I get another star. And yes, now for the rest of the game, upgrades will cost less. Gotta love it. All right, I'm not in that area. I didn't get damage, didn't get any of these. Oh, wait, actually, crud. I think if I use treasure as a wild, it does count as getting that. Yeah, he does. Stupid Mike. Oh, well, I'll still leave it. But yes, so he did technically get salvage since I converted treasure into salvage. And he got me getting treasure. So yikes. But I get 3 more, so only a little bit behind. Yeah, things can be pretty tough, as you can see. All right, here we go. Next round. 7 of spades, 9 of hearts, 7 of diamonds. And new requirements. Don't do a spade. Interesting. And don't be in the bottom. Well, that should be easy. I was going to stay up here anyway. So let's see. I'm thinking if I move with a 7 and then do like a 9 of diamonds to get a treasure, I won't be... I'll be pursuing this. I won't be messing with any of that. So I should get 5. That's pretty fabulous. How can 7 work? I want to get to that... Oh, I don't want to do a spade. Dang it. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And be like right next to it. Then I would get a salvage from crossing. Yeah, I guess that's okay. All right, so I want to keep the 7 of diamonds and use the 7 of spades. So I'll go 1 for 2 stars, because those you don't have to end your turn on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I got 2 stars, and I get a salvage from crossing that border. But I don't get anything else, so I just circle this, cross out that, and 7, 4, 7. There we go. And then we were doing the 9 of diamonds, right? And let's go ahead and go down and get this. I still want to avoid taking damage as long as I can. So I get a treasure back. I need 1, 2, 3 spots, all damaging me though, to get the next thing. All right, and then 9 or 7. A 9 would be a laboratory. It would let me ignore having to fill in the beakers from bottom to top. I haven't even touched science yet, but that's a nice little ability. And then 7 is a ramming prow. So for me, it would cost me 2 crew and 0 salvage, which is pretty nice. And then whenever I do a salvage space in spades, I get double salvage, 2 instead of 1. I mean, that's just kind of awesome, right? Especially with it being free salvage-wise. So I'll take that. With my discount, I will only pay 2 crew. I'm getting a star, and they didn't do any, or I didn't do anything, right? I definitely didn't do a spade. I'm not in either of those locations. Didn't get a knowledge, didn't get a damage. Beautiful. That's 5 free for me. Take that, Farragut. And I haven't moved too much, so I'm still slowly doing all that stuff. All right, what have we got? Jack, ace, both spades, and 5 of hearts. They're going to punish me for doing a heart or, oh gosh, okay. So clearly I'm checking off one of these areas because they're all in play at the same time. And diamonds and clubs are still safe, okay. Which means, I don't even have enough knowledge to convert. So it looks like I'm just going to get plinked for doing a spade or a heart. And I guess I'd rather do a spade because I'm getting... Ooh, actually, this is perfect, though. Look, I can do the ace to move a single space, which will get me onto this free spade. Okay, so I'll just do a lot of spades this turn since I just got a bonus for them. Okay, so I get to do a free spade action. Let's keep working on this big ship and get a whopping 12 stars if I finish it. I've seen a bunch of aces, so yeah, let's cross out the ace here. Get myself 2 salvage with my new ramming prow. Then in a second, I might just suck it up and take damage because I need to at some point. Oh, I didn't even look. A 5 of spades will get me up here. That's fine. So I guess I won't take damage this turn. All right, so yeah. I'm going to do 5 of spades. So blink, blink, get 2 more salvage. Leftover resources that are not treasures, by the way, are worth 1 victory point for every 3 you have of them, so they aren't too great. All right, now what can I build? Skiff for 3 salvage is my discount 2 and 1. Will let me get 2 resources for every treasure I spend. Gosh, that's good, especially with me doing a lot of adventuring. That's probably going to be the one, but let's look at my other options. 5 for 1 and 1 would let me use a single knowledge to change suit. Pretty good, pretty good. Although I think just getting a ton of stuff from treasure will kind of take care of that as well. And then Jack, is a reinforced hull, but I haven't actually taken much damage yet. Although I will be. But that's so expensive. I don't even have 3 crew. Nah, I am going to do it. I'm going to spend 1 of my 2 crew and only 2 salvage. So I'm doing great on salvage to get the skiff. So now I can change treasure into 2 things, which is awesome. That gets me a star there. Okay, so they are clearly completing that one for 5. And then I did do a spade. That gets them up to 25. But I avoided all the rest. So that's 5 more for me. So just slightly ahead of them still. And going to the next round. 10 of diamonds. Okay, we got diamonds. 6 of clubs. Queen of spades. Still haven't seen either of the jokers. And we're getting their last 2 cards. If I do a club action or if I gain any crew. All right, so let's see. What if I move with a 6? Lowest value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Would let me end on the heart. Now, I would have to get a knowledge or a crew and just kind of suck up giving them points for that. But I think that's probably fine. So wait, where is it? It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I get 1 star. Then I get to... Oh, crud. Heart actions are being rewarded. I mean, fine, whatever. I haven't even done any hearts yet. So I have to get knowledge or crew. And then... Yeah, let's just double up. So I'm getting knowledge here. That's right. They said, like, you can slide the cards or show. Okay, so I've done a heart. I've done knowledge. So that's 1 knowledge for crossing that. And I'm doing a heart. I'll work on... this one gets me free diamond actions. I guess this one does eventually too. So sure, let's do the 9 and get another knowledge. Okay, then for my main action, let's keep hammering at diamonds, right? So queen of diamonds. Okay, so I can do like over here. All right, so that will give me a damage. I mean, it's been building up for a while. We knew that all these things would happen. So I get 1 damage plus 1 treasure because of my super propeller. And then I get a free heart. Well, let's keep building up here. So I'll go, yeah, because spades are not being punished. So I'll get a star for that. I finish this spade. So let's go ahead and I guess do, well, I don't want to do a free club right now. So let's do the king instead on the big ship and get me 2 salvage with my bonus. So no free actions yet, but as I finish that one, I'll get a lot of free actions. Oh, I forgot I'm supposed to be doing clubs for that challenge. Oh, well. Okay, so that's great. I mean, not really great. Oh, I get to upgrade. Let's see. 6, queen, 10. Queen I've already done. 10 I've already done. What's 6? Chart room. It was actually pretty nice. I've not gotten this one. Whenever I end my movement on a blank space, so like not a star, not a damage, not a free action, I get a free treasure, which is 2 things for me. Or it's a victory point. So yeah, let's do it. That costs me 2 salvage, which I easily have, and only 1 crew, which is my last one, but I can get a ton more from treasure. That's 1 point for that. All right, now the sadness. 1, 2, 3. They are getting a lot of stuff. That's up to 40, and I am getting 4. All right, so they are past me. Don't love that. And we're also shuffling all of the stuff I already defeated back in. All right, let's see what they have for us next. No damage. Okay. Oh, no hearts. Interesting. And we got a king. Oh, there's our first joker. So, they take that one. I can still get 2 points for it, but they grab the 5-point thing, and the joker's discarded, and we keep going. Ooh, some high values. So I'm safe to go down here if I wanted to. Or that's right, I could just get a treasure by going anywhere, right? So what if I use the 2, I guess? Because it seems like the king queen is perfect to get another diamond, right? So sure, I'll use the 2. And I think I'll go 1, 2 down like that. And I'm going to get a treasure from that. And I don't want to get a crew member, so I'll get a salvage instead. Although, I guess if I never get crew members, I can't do any upgrades or repairs. So, maybe I just suck it up. Yeah, I think I'll just suck it up and get a crew member. All right, so that one's already triggering. Okay, and then might as well do the king as the value and the queen as the suit. And fill in our last thing here. Oh, wait, that's going to get me damage. Oh, crud. All right, so what if I use the queen as the value and use 1 knowledge to go down to being a jack? And then the jack can go here because it's lower than the queen and king above it, which will get me another treasure, and which will also get me a free club. Oh, crud, I don't want a club action. Well, if I'm going to keep on doing... All right, let's just suck it up. Oh, that's a free club action as well. Gosh, yeah, there's nowhere I can go that won't get me a club right now. All right, do I just get the danger too? All right, we'll keep the knowledge then. We'll keep this a king, like originally planned. So we're getting damage. Oh, this is terrible. We're getting a treasure as well because of my 1 upgrade. We're getting a free club action, which will be this one. Might as well get, if we're going to get 1 crew, might as well get a lot of crew, right? So that completes a row and gets us 3 stars. And this row is completed. That gets us 5 more stars. Oh, shoot. I was trying to get this and I forgot that they just got it. I mean, I'm still going to get 2 once I get a star over here. But, geez, I was really close to getting it earlier, wasn't I? All right, so for the other one, I need to get 3 more rows finished for clubs and then 2 more diamonds and I'll be good. And you know what? Let's go ahead and just trash a treasure to get, like, 2 more crew, so I can just, repair damage or build stuff for a while without having to worry about it if the crew card comes back out. Although I guess I just shuffled, so never mind. It's not going to come for a while. Okay, but either way, I will do an upgrade to queen or king. What's king? Oh, that's right. Whenever I move over a damage space, I also get 1 salvage and 1 crew. That could actually be dangerous with the solo stuff. A dredge would let me change crew into salvage and vice versa. I mean, sure. All right, so that's going to get me 1 more, and it costs me 1 salvage and 1 crew. Okay, and then, God, they're getting 15, so they're at 45. And I'm getting 3. We are just staying neck and neck here. And the only endgame scoring I'm going to get, remember, is 1 for each treasure I have, 1 for every 3 other things I have, and then -1 for each damage. Oh, I moved. How much did I move? I moved 2. So, have I really moved that little? Actually, I just counted all my journeying, and I think I counted 20. Let me check again. So I should actually be all the way over here. I just definitely missed at least 1 round of that. All right, now it does want me to get salvage or do spade actions. I can handle that. Oh, maybe not. Oh my gosh. All right, I do have enough knowledge to change the suit if I need to. I'm looking at the ship. There is a free diamond action near me, but I need an even number to reach it. So let's use the 5, but use a knowledge to lower it to a 4. So I can go like 1, 2, 3, 4, and get a diamond. I'll get a knowledge back from that border. And let's not forget this time 4 of those. Oh, shoot. I'm ending there. We'll have to go to those places eventually, so yeah, whatever. Okay, so we're doing that one. But we get a free diamond action, which I actually want to get a free club action to try to finish this challenge before them. So let's say a jack would be the highest we could put here. Gets us a treasure. Gets us a free club action, which I'll go up here and take a damage. But I get a free diamond action right back. Oh, and I don't want to do spade or heart yet. Gosh darn it. All right, so let's do a free diamond down to there. And then I guess I got to pay 2 knowledge to change the suit. Oh, but everywhere I go is going to get me a free heart or spade. Gosh darn it. Yeah, I should have just sucked it up and stayed over here and gotten like the free spade action, but too late. Maybe I should go for spades. Let's see. If I do 7 of spades and spend 2 knowledge, it's expensive, I can get to a 9 of spades, which, yeah, there we go, would let me get this 9, take another damage, sadly. But I get to do a free diamond again. And let's keep doing spades, right? So I'll go ahead and put a jack here. Gets me another damage. But I get a free spade action, which I'll use to complete this one for 3. Give me another damage. But I did finish this boat for 12 points. It's getting me way ahead of them and also getting me pretty close. Oh, I was right. I've done spades. And, oh, I get a free club. Heck yeah. And if I go here, I'll get a free heart, which is not necessarily what I want. So let's go to the 7 here and get another crew member. And then if I get... Oh, wait, hold on. Not that. Well, I'll still get the crew. But let's get the king. I think that's going to be tougher. I've seen a lot of kings. 7's more of a middle value, so that finishes another row. Gets me 3 more victory points. All right, I feel pretty good about that, even though I'm giving them 10. Yeah, so they're going up to 55. What do I want to build? 5. The observation deck. Oh, makes it cheaper to change the suit. That's pretty dang nice. 7 I've already got. 9 would let me do these in any order. Nah, I don't really care. So yeah, let's do the 5. So that's going to cost me 1 salvage. I think I had that third one. And 1 crew. I get another star. And yeah, I can do suit changing for 1 knowledge. Oh, and I forgot to get my 2 stars because I did complete this one. I got a star from the basic science thing. I finished off multiple ships. I finished off a row. Finished off rows. Yep, so easy. And 2 more clubs will get me that one. 1 more diamond will get me that one. So hopefully a joker is not coming out in the next couple cards. Let's see. 4, 10, king. Nice. We dodged it for now. And they're getting get out of the top. So I can stay in the middle where I am. That's nice. And no, don't get knowledge. That's a little restrictive. All right. I might actually move a lot and just finish the game since I think I'm ahead. I've cleared out all but 3 of these, so they aren't getting too many extra points. So it's not like I need to make the game last much longer. Because I'm thinking, like, if I do an adventure, that would get me that goal, but I would finish a heart. I could use the heart to do... Well, if I want to move 10, I can get to this free club spot here. It's probably the best one to go for. Let's see if I go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But you can't move 11. You can't change it into an 11. What if I go up first? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to get salvage either way doing that. Could go for a spade instead and try to finish this ship. But now let's use the 4. I'm going to spend a knowledge to make it 5. So I'll go 1, 2, gets me a star, 3, 4, 5. I do have to get a salvage, so that's going to complete that one. I got a star for doing the thing. Then for my free club, I guess I'm just going to suck it up and do some hearts, right? Oh, wait, I don't have any knowledge. Oh, crud. What am I going to do for my action here? By the way, moving, what was it? 5. So there we go. Yes, this will probably be the final turn, so let's try to finish one of these things. How can I get knowledge? Okay, let's take a damage to go there. That gets me a heart. And then the heart can be this jack here, which gets me a knowledge. So they're going to score that as well. Oh, and they got, oh my gosh, that's a lot. But now I have knowledge and I can change the suit for 1, so I should be able to do something more useful. Oh, maybe not. These are really high values. Crud. Oh, I can use treasure. Jeez. Dumb Mike. Okay, I'll use 1 treasure to get, I think 2 knowledge is actually what I need. Because then I can do, what does it have to be? An 8 diamond. Okay, so if I use the value of the 10, doesn't matter that, so I'm using all 3 of these. 1 to change this to a diamond, 2 to bring this down to an 8. That would get me a damage, but also a treasure with my power. I would get a heart action, but I also complete this one for 5. And you can actually remove it because they never get the 2.1. All right, and then I get a free heart action, which can be here. It gets me a star and a free diamond. We'll definitely use that immediately. Okay, so we have met. The game is ending. So free diamond will be here with a jack. Gets me a damage. Gets me a treasure. Gets me, a free hard action again. Ooh, let's finish this. Gets me a knowledge. 8 and 7. That's 15. This is the turn I needed, baby. Okay, so that's all the way down here if I counted right. But that is sadly it. I'm not going to be able to get that one finished. I'm not going to be able to get the 9 points there because the game is done. But we are giving them 15. These are only at 70. So, all right, we get, what is this? 88. It's our starting value. Plus 8 treasures. Plus 3, 6, 7. That's 2 more. Minus 9 damage. Ouch. So 89 versus, we only didn't complete a single diamond. So 89 versus 71. Yay! Of course, that was on the easiest difficulty. And actually, I forgot to get 2 for those cards. So what, it would be 91 versus 71? But that was the easiest difficulty. We could have started with up to 4 Farragut cards already in play, which clearly would have given them tons more of those 5-point multipliers. And also, how far down was the other Joker? Okay, so yeah, the other Joker was near the bottom, so they never got a chance to score 5 points that way. But yeah, that was Flip Voyage, which, again, with the New Frontier expansion for Flip Town, is some new Flip stuff coming. And what do I think of this one compared to Flip Town? I think it's fun. I like the new movement stuff. I think this having a very different automa than Flip Town. I mean, it's still got a similar thing where you're sometimes punished for some actions, but it's quite varied with this one. So I think that's pretty enjoyable, although not everyone's going to love this solo mode because, you know, it does kind of feel like you're restricted, or like even if you want to take a really cool action, you kind of can't. Oh, by the way, I guess I could have built another upgrade or used 2 crew to get rid of a damage. That would have given me, what, 1 more? No, I would have lost a point and gained a point, so whatever. But yeah, I think the solo mode is cool. People who don't like it, though, you can just play to kind of beat your score, but I think it is certainly more interactive and interesting. And the choices are still really cool, just like in the original game. Now, I think I slightly prefer building the poker hand over like the movement, because that's what you do with the 3rd card in either game. But that's just because I like poker, and especially when you're playing with the Texas Hold'em variant, where you can build a better hand, because you have 7 cards to choose from. I think that part's pretty fun. So I am kind of missing the poker here, but I get why they didn't, just kind of shoehorn in a poker element into a game about Nemo and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I also really like that you are getting consistent upgrades in this one, because in Flip Town, you have to go to the very specific action of the buildings, and if you never do that, then you're not going to get any of these cool upgrades. Here, you're pretty much getting an upgrade every turn unless you can't pay for it. Now, I guess the sacrifice/cost of that is that all of these feel a lot more similar than the 4 different suit actions in Flip Town. But that could be a positive or a negative, because certainly it's a lot more straightforward to learn these, since they each just have one kind of different rule about them. So I think trying to teach new players, if you're going to play the game competitively or learning it for solo, this is a very easy entry point. So yeah, if you like flipping rights, if you liked Flip Town, I think Flip Voyage is going to be a winner for you. But go check out the crowdfunding page and see for yourself. I think it's going to be live next Tuesday. And thanks for watching, everybody. Special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Pedro Lucas, Nick Skeen, Miles, Wayne Scott, Steve Wren, and Casey W. We'll see you at the next stop.